Hello science people, Amy here. What I've got for you is a video that I've put together in two parts. The first part is me running through how to construct a dichotomous key based on a collection of different types of pasta. And the second part is running through the Mr. Men activity. Running through that Mr. Men activity that I talked about in our call today that I would like you to do. If you've got any questions, please feel free to either email me or send me a message using Zoom chat. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day and I'll see you later. Bye. So if I just share my screen to OneNote, and I just Googled types of pasta. Very inventive Google search, but back in the dark ages when I was in high school, we actually did this activity with the different types of pasta. So remember, we're looking at a series of yes/no questions. So let's start with, is it stuffed? So over here, I'll do my yeses, and that leaves me with ravioli and tortellini. Then over here on the no, that then leaves me with all of the others. So let's for the moment focus on how can I separate ravioli and tortellini. So ravioli tends to be flatter, whereas tortellini curls around on itself. So does it curl around on itself? And again, yes, no. Oh, sorry. So yes, that is my tortellini. And then no is my ravioli. Okay, so I'm just going to delete this little bit of writing and move this up because otherwise this ends up being really super, super massive. Okay. Now, if you want, you can create your dichotomous key on paper. You don't have to use that website. So let's look at, so I've talked about ravioli and I've talked about tortellini. Let's say, is it a strand? Then there's only one of those that is a strand pasta. Yes, which is spaghetti. And then no is all of my others. So what's my next question I can ask? I can ask, is it a ribbon? Is it a ribbon? And that then gives me yes. Oh, yes. And that is lasagna. And is it tagliatelle? So How do I split lasagna versus tagliatelle? Lasagna is it a flat sheet? If yes, it's lasagna. If it's no, it's tagliatelle. Okay. So we've done lasagna and tagliatelle. So we've got macaroni, cannelloni, penne and rigatoni. So you can go through and keep asking these types of questions and split them up. So if it is, let me do this. So if I say, is it stuffed? No. Is it a strand? No. Is it a ribbon? Yes. Is it a flat sheet? Yes. That is how I use, that is how I use one of these dichotomous keys. So I don't know, you guys might be too young, but there used to be this type of thing when I was a kid called a choose your own adventure book. And it was all of these sorts of splits where you go, if yes, turn to page whatever, if no, turn to page whatever. That's basically what this is, but it's a choose your own adventure story for working out what types of things we've got. What types of, whether it's pasta or Mr. Men or animals. Okay, thank you so much. So if you go to the document that is on Compass, and this is exactly the document I've got open in front of me. So I'm going to start by talking about Mr. Bump, and you need to list down some characteristics of Mr. Bump. I'm sorry, I don't know why Zoom does that. It decides to quit once it's been open, after it's first been opened. So let's go back to my Mr. Men and let's list down some characteristics of Mr. Bump. Mr. Bump is round, he's blue, he's smiling, because some of the ones down the bottom aren't smiling. No teeth. I'm just thinking compared to Mr. Tickle, you can't see Mr. Bump's teeth. He is also wearing something, not a hat. Okay, so I would suggest you go through and you write ... for each of your Mr. Men's. So there are 12 Mr. Men. So run through and add your dot points for each of them. Then, once you've done that, we need to go over to the dichotomous key maker. I will put a link to this on Compass as well. So let's start drawing it now. And I've had a bit of a play with this. I am sure there is a better way to add dichotomous points than the way that I am about to show you, but I cannot find it. So what I did was I used my mouse to highlight all 3 of those boxes, and I can click them up and drag them as a group. So I've dragged them off to the side to give me a bit more space. So Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and I want to put that with this arrow here. Then I can Control C, Control V. Oh no, Control V. Sorry, I lost my copy paste. And I can then make this point here, and so each of these. So your first question might be, Remember, we're asking yes, no questions. So your first question might be, is the Mr. Man round? Then you double click on the arrow. It was letting me do it earlier. Yes, if you double click on the arrow or click in a particular way. I don't know. Yes. So, no. If you click, yes. So once you've split into those two categories, round Mr. Men and not round Mr. Men, you ask another yes-no question. Then you might need to add another yes-no question. So each of us should, at the end of this, come up with a series of yes-no questions that lead us to one Mr. Man. So what we're going to do at the very start of next Wednesday's class, I am going to pair you up like we did last time, and you and your partner are going to swap your dichotomous keys. You're going to you're going to swap these keys that you've created here, and you're going to check that they make sense. How you save this, because I'm not asking you to sign up to create an account. If you have an account already, that's brilliant. If you do not have an account already, you can just take a screenshot and then save this document into a Word document or a Google Doc. It's up to you. Okay, so the thing that I would really stress is make sure you start by talking about these characteristics. Make sure you do a good job of that, because that's going to make that dichotomous key a lot easier. This is important because we're going to go on and create a dichotomous key for something else for our assignment. So I want to be able to come around to the different breakout rooms on Wednesday during our next class and talk about what you've learned from creating this dichotomous key. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.